Hello, my name is Thomas Horniman, and this is my game Gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is an area control, tile, and board manipulation game for 2 players or committees of more players. The game begins with a semi-random setup. Initial precinct card distribution is set. You'll see that there's a pattern on the board. But the reverse of those cards is random. Additionally, the district lines are placed in a neutral in a pattern that ensures neutral representation at the beginning of the game. Players are then given a faction card. Right now this is the D and the R to represent the rhinos and the dinos. They are given 3 meeples at the beginning of the game that they'll be able to put on the board at the beginning of the game. Each player starts with 1 in the center and then 1 on one of their other tiles. Players choose which faction to start, then each player or committee draws 3 cards and the game begins. So each player is going to have a deck of cards they're going to be able to draw from. Each turn players play a card, resolve its effect, draw a new card, and then pass it to their opponent. The cards have one of 3 effects. Campaigning, which moves these meeples, across the board, and flips the tiles if it helps them. So if blue moves over red, it will flip it over. So that would turn from red to blue. This would stay gray because turning it over would make it red. This would turn to gray, which is neutral and no longer helps red. You will never hurt yourself, so moving over this blue tile would remain, the tile would remain blue. And any neutral tile you move over that is blue on the back would flip over as well. The second type of action is demographic shifts. These represent population shifts with people in areas moving to different areas of the board. So this tile is picked up and moved over here, and this one is moved over here. And as an example, this tile is flipped over so that this district is more solidly red comparatively to what it needs to be. Alright. The last type of action is gerrymandering, which affects the district lines. These cards manipulate where these lines are. Very simply, they can cut a district in half, they can change which tiles are in a district, they can combine districts that are smaller. That affects how the game is actually scored. After 3 rounds have passed, there is a scoring round. Players gain points for each district their party has a simple majority in. So in this district, there are 3 rhinos and there is 1 dino. That means that the rhinos are going to win this district. They are going to get points equal to the number of precinct tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, cards in the district minus 1, so they will get 5 points for that district. After scoring, the player or team with the highest score starts the next round. After the second scoring round, players place their 3rd meeple on the board. Gerrymandering does not perfectly mimic the results of gerrymandering, which would ensure that the player who won the first round would have an advantage for the rest of the game, but instead illustrates the effects of gerrymandering. Having a majority of voters across the entire board does not ensure that you will win the majority of points. Just as likely, a slim minority might lead you to be nearly shut out in a scoring round. To balance the game, the player who is losing goes last, able to affect the board without the opponent being able to respond before the next scoring phase. Additionally, it can represent a party out of power being able to attack their opponent for their decisions. There are a few mechanics which are placed in the game for more functionality than reality. Players cannot move their meeples onto or through opponents' meeples. While unrealistic, it generally prevents a duplicate move, which players found frustrating. Additionally, if a demographic shift is used on a card that has a meeple on it, the meeple moves with the tile. This is to help players avoid having their meeples trapped. Thank you very much.